Hi, welcome for our online training sessions. In this session, we are going to discuss what is view, what are different types of views, and what are the important questions we'll expect in the interviews regarding the views. That's what we are going to discuss. So a view is a logical table based on other base tables or views, based on other base tables or views. Generally, we know that in the database, we have the tables. Table stores the information in the format of rows and columns, right? So tables are used to store the data. Okay. So once we have a data in the table, if at all you wanted to provide some security, you wanted to have some calculation on this data, generally we'll write a select statement. Instead of writing the select statement every time, if it is a simple statement, we'll write select star from EMP, where department number equal to 10 or where department number equal to 20. Like that, we can simply write the select statement and then we will be able to get the result. But when we are working in the projects, there will be some hundreds of lines we have to write the query select statement. It means maybe you are joining 10-15 tables, having multiple primary foreign correlations, and also you are trying to write the group by clause. Okay, so when we have complex queries, okay, you can make that complex query as view, so that next time we don't need to write that entire query. Simply we can select the data from the views. So view is basically, it's a logic which you are going to apply. It's like a window for your database table. It's a window for your database table. Views will not hold the data of its own. View doesn't store any data. Who does not views does not have any data. Your data will be there in the table only. Your data will be stored in the table only. But view, what it will do is, instead of holding the data, it retrieves the data from the base table or view whenever the view is queried. So we created one view now by writing some select statement. Later, when you write the select statement, select star from view name, internally system will execute this query. Internally, system will execute this query. So I don't need to remember the query. Maybe it is 10 lines or 20 lines or 30 lines. It can be more than that also, right? So I don't need to remember that query. Simply I'll just select star from view name. Internally query will be executed and it fetch the data from the database. That's the sum. Views are used to represent the same data in multiple formats. It means you can have the data in aggregated or detailed. In our previous sessions, we talked about aggregate functions like sum, count, minimum, maximum salary. And we have seen how we can apply the group by class on that time. So these all things we have discussed, right? So you can go for prepare a view with all these aggregate functions or detailed functions. View contains no data itself except materialized views. There is a separate session about materialized views. We'll talk about that later. That contains the data. Materialized views contains the data. So view meta data only object, or you can say named queries. So metadata means which stores the data, whatever the current data you have, it will retrieve from the database tables. Okay. So why we required the views? What is the purpose of views? It's very simple. When we have a data in the table or view, okay, when you have a data on the table or tables, maybe you can create a view by using single table or multiple tables also. When you have a data on the table or tables, if you want to go for fetch the data from multiple tables at a time and you wanted to have a different result, and you don't need to go for write the query every time. So that time we'll be using the views. And also when you want to give the access to someone else, somebody says that I want to access the data from this table, but in the table you have around 40 columns. There is a data for 10 columns, which is sensitive information. That information you don't want to give the access to them. Then if you give the access to the table, they can see the data. They can access all the columns and rows, right? So in that scenario, you can restrict what columns you wanted to show to them and what rows you would like to show to them. So you can create a view with only 30 columns. Actually, in your table, 40 columns are there, but client says that hide these 10 columns and show this 30 columns only to the user. So that is not possible from the developer point of view here. So what we can do is we will go ahead with creating a view with these columns, and then we can go for give the access to the view. So when user try to write a query by using the view, he can access only for 30 columns, right? He cannot access for 40 columns, whatever we have in the table. So it's up to the requirement whether you want to create a view with all the columns or only specific columns from the table. Okay, so these are the basic definitions of view. So now in this session, we are going to discuss what is view. We have discussed just now. Now we are going to talk about different types of views. This is standard question. Can you tell me what are different types of views you have come across in your experience? Last 1 year or 3 years or 4 years, you are working in Oracle project and you are writing the queries and creating table and working with the views. What are different types of views you have come across or you have used? Or what are different types majorly? Majorly, we have 4 types: simple view, complex view, materialized views, inline views also is there. There is a simple concept called inline views. If you write a query inside of the from clause, then it comes as an inline view. We'll take that example in another session. And materialized views also will take it another session. Right now, I'm restricting to this particular session on the simple views and complex views. So what is simple view? What is complex view? What is the difference between simple view and complex view? Can we use this DML operations on the view? Generally, we are using DML statements on the table. DML statement means insert, update, delete. All this we are applying on the table, inserting records, updating records, and deleting the records on the table. But now the question is, can I apply on the view? Because view means indirectly table only. If you apply the DML statement on the view, indirectly it will be applied on the table. It will be applied on the table. Can we do that? That's what we are going to see practically, and we are going to see that. These are important questions in the interview point of view. We are going to see that practically now. So simple view is nothing but a view which is created based on the single table. If the view is created based on the single table, then we call it as simple view. Complex views can have any number of tables joined. You can have multiple tables. Any number of tables are joined in the complex view. That's the difference. That's a basic difference between the simple view and complex view. We have to explain in the interview point of view. The records are not grouped. No group functions are allowed. You have created one view. How can you say that this is a simple view or complex view? If you are not using any group functions, then it is a simple view. And also make sure that it is having single table. Then that is a simple view. Okay. If you say I have used some group functions like maximum, minimum, count, sum, average, then that is a complex view. Let's say you are using multiple tables, but no group functions, then obviously it will not be a simple view because you make sure that is having single table, no group functions are allowed. Simple views does not contain distinct keyword. Distinct keyword, which we know that when the table is having duplicate rows, you can pick the unique values from that particular table, then we use distinct keyword. And pseudo columns also we know, row ID, row num, curval, next val, level, this all comes under row ID, right? If your view is having this pseudo columns or any expression based columns, expression means calculation, expression based columns are there, those then that will not come under the simple view, that will come under the complex view. You can apply DMLs on the simple view. Means you can write insert statement on the view. Internally, it affects to the table. insert statement, update statement, delete statement. But in complex views, you cannot apply the DML statement because you have used multiple tables, or you have used group functions, or you might have used some other expressions or distinct keyword or pseudo columns. So if you are having any of these things, then it comes under complex view, which will not impact directly on the table when you apply the DML. That's why no DMLs are allowed on the complex view. That is the difference between simple view and complex view. Okay, that we are going to let's see practically, so that you can understand how it will work. First, we'll see how we can go for create a simple view. Let's enter into the practical environment here. Now, let's say this table we have, select star from EMP. This is the table we have. How many rows we have total? Around 14. So I want to create a view. Select create or replace view name as, write a query. Select, if you want to retrieve only few columns, if you would like to work with only few columns in your view, then you can choose. If you say star, all the columns will be fetched. Select star from EMP where department number equal to 10. So this view contains missing keyword. Create or replace. Spelling mistake. Create or replace view name as select star from EMP where department number equal to 10. That's the select state. This is the query. So when you execute this query, you will get some result, right? So indirectly right now, instead of executing this query, you can use this particular view name because your view is created successfully here. Your view is created successfully here. Now let's see. I'm going to use the view. So whenever we are writing the select statement, EMP underscore 10. Now I'm going to write. So this is having only 10th department. Let's say I would like to create another view for 20th department. For easy understanding, I'm giving the view name as EMP underscore 20 is created. Same thing for 30 department. Let's go for 30 here it is. So we created 3 views successfully over here. 3 views, EMP underscore 10, EMP underscore 20, EMP underscore 30. Let me select the data from the third view, whatever we have created, department number 30. Now we have 30th department data over here it is. 30th department. Okay. This is how we can go for creative view. This is simple view because this view does not have multiple tables. This view does not have multiple tables. We have not used any aggregate functions. We have not used distinct keyword. We have not used pseudo columns. We have not used any expression here. Then definitely it's a simple view. We discussed that simple view can be updated, deleted, and inserted. It means records can be inserted, updated, and deleted. DMLs are allowed. Let's see that. Now we wanted to test. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to update the view. Update view name set commission equal to 144 where employee number equal to 7698. Now here it is going to show that invalid table name. It is showing that it is invalid table name here. Okay. So whatever the table name we have used, that is invalid. Let's see that now here. We'll go with first insert. Insert into view name, values. Now one row is inserted. Insert statement has been successfully completed here. And one row is inserted. Now if I search for a record in the table, I can see that record is there in the table. But actually we updated a view. We updated a view here it is. Okay. So whenever we update a view here, sorry, we have applied a insert statement on the view. Internally, it's been updated on the table. So now I'm going to apply this update statement. Here, update statement. Update. Earlier we were using table name. Right now I'm using the view name. Set commission equal to 144, where employee number equal to 7698. What system is showing? One row is updated successfully. Let's see that row is there or not. So here 7698. Yes. Commission has been updated. Okay. So can I apply delete statement on this simple view? Yes. Let's say I'm trying to delete this any of the record we can delete. We'll take another table. Sorry, another view. Department number 10, or we can create a view for all the employees who are having commission is null here. Let's say 20th department I'm going to take. Okay. So I just wanted to go for delete this record from the database where employee number equal to 786. The reason why I'm hesitating is somebody might be using this table with having standard. That's the reason. Okay, we'll go for delete. Let's issue the commit. And we have all rows in the table. Let me apply delete statement. Delete emp underscore 30. Create a view, create or replace a view emp underscore department null. So wherever the department null is there, all that rows I'm going to make it as a separate view. Okay. So as select star from emp where department number is null. I created separate view. So this view fetch the records from the table wherever the department number is null. Wherever the department number is null. I want to delete this record. Delete. Instead of table name, I'm going to use the view name. Where whatever the query you want to filter, you can write. Delete from view name where employee number equal to 1001. That's how I'm going to write. Now one row is deleted successfully. So I am able to apply all DML operations against the simple. So we have seen practically how it can be applied. So simple views can be created like this, and it can be applied DML operations here. Now we are going for the second category, which is complex view. So complex views can have either one table or multiple tables, and it can have some group functions and these words, distinct pseudo column or expressions, right? And no DMLs are allowed. Let me create one complex view over here. I'm going to use only one table only, but I wanted to use the aggregate functions. Select, create, or replace view, view name, employee result as select department number, maximum of salary as alias name. I'm giving maximum salary, minimum of salary as minimum salary, from only one table I'm using. I'm not going to filter any records here. Okay. So what is the error message here? Not a single group function is grouped. Whenever we are using the group function, make sure that you have to apply the group by clause, group by whatever the column you have that you have to apply. So write this group by department number. Now the view has created successfully. This view is a complex view. You cannot find exactly the name as simple view or complex view. How you can find whether it is simple or complex view is based on the definition. While creating this view, whatever the definition you have given, based on that it will work. So in this view, we have the aggregate functions, right? We got aggregate functions, so we cannot view. So this is going to be complex view. This is going to be complex view. So now I'm writing the query. I can find the result, emp underscore result. Now this is the result. If I apply any DML operations against this particular view, what system will do? Internally, it has to update this table. But this table columns are different. And whatever the view you have, that is different, right? Because it has got some calculations, or it has got some, options where you have this aggregate functions or whatever, the pseudo column, whatever we have used, that you will find here, right? So that we can find. So that's the reason complex views, we cannot go ahead with this options, DML operations. DMLs are not allowed. Okay, let's go for another view which is having multiple tables. Let's say a client is asking, I just wanted to have department number, comma, employee name. I need a department name, location, and employee name. And then I required a job. This is required. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is here now, I'm going to create department name we have in DEPT table, department name and location. These two columns we have in DEPT table. These two columns are there in employee table. So obviously we should understand the relationship between these two tables. When I say relationship, what is the master table and what is the detail table? What is the primary key in master table and what is the foreign key in master child table or detail table? Once we are clear with primary key and foreign key, then only we'll be able to write the join conditions and we'll get correct result, right? So I'm creating here, create or replace employee department data, create or replace view name as, write the query, select from department alias name, employee table alias name, write the join condition here where D dot department number equal to E dot department number. Right. Now I am going to specify any department name, D dot location, and then E dot employee name, E dot job. So here I'm using multiple tables and any valid select statement, you can make it as a view here and it works. Its system is showing that invalid identifier E dot. It's not comma, it's dot. Okay, it's a dot. Now we'll go for execute this. Now view has been created successfully. So this is a complex view. I do not have any group functions. I'm not using any group, but multiple tables are there. When you have a multiple table in your view definition, this is a complex view. Okay. Now I can get the result here directly from the table. Okay. So this is how we can work with the complex views. As I said, we cannot apply the DML operations against this. Then we have to go ahead with this options, or here it is. This is about simple views, complex views, and the difference between these two. So what are the interview questions we can expect from interview? What is a view? It's a basic level interview question. And tell me different types of views: simple view, complex view, materialized views, and inline views. These are different types of views, 4 types of views. And of course, we can talk about that 4 types, materialized views and inline views in another session. Then what is simple view and what is complex view? If the view is created with single table without grouping the records and without having any distinct keyword or pseudo columns, this all, then it's going to be used here. And we can apply the DML operations. Complex view means we can have either one table or multiple tables, and the records might be grouped by using group functions. And then we can have distinct keyword or pseudo columns. No DMLs are applied against this. That's the difference between the simple view and the complex view. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.